Voyager Digital stock is up another 15% today on the news of revenue announcements for the month of January and for the first few days of February. In this video, I'm going to go through the news that they announced today, go through some updated metrics as to how this translates to market cap and revenue, and talk a little bit about the Voyager Token. A few guys talked about this, and I just want to give my opinion on where I think it's going over the next few years here, as well as what I'm doing with the stock. So obviously up 15% today on top of the massive move that it's had over the past week here. I mean, Voyager was a $4 stock last Wednesday, and as they announced, incredible revenue results or massive user growth, this company has really taken a skyrocket. And we'll go through this news here in a second. So, Voyager Digital announces year-to-date growth metrics since the beginning of January. Preliminary revenue from operations were approximately $8.5 million for the month of January, up from $1.7 million in the month of December. Preliminary revenue from operations for the period February 1st, 2021 to February 4th, 2021 is estimated to be approximately $2.5 million. Now, management said that they were expecting around $5 million in revenue for the month of January, and now they came out and announced that they're going to do $8.5 million. And now, again, they're saying they did 2.5 in 3 days for the first 4 days, for the first 4 days of February. Now, do I think Voyager is going to be able to do $2.5 million in revenue every 4 days for the next year? Probably not. I think a large kind of attribution of that was the fact that a lot of users came to Voyager from Robinhood, and that explosive growth that we've seen over the past few days here, I think that's a big reason for that bump in revenue for February, end of January. But does that mean that they're not going to see a bump in revenue across the board for the next year? No, we're probably going to see a bump in revenue. So, net cash deposits were approximately $120 million for the month of January of 2021, up from approximately $30 million for the month of December. Net cash deposits were approximately $18 million for the period February 1st to February 4th. Now, net cash deposits, that's really where this company grows. And we can kind of see this with the assets under management, because as assets under management goes up, revenue goes up the same amount. So assets under management were approximately $800 million as of February 4th. Up from $230 million at December 31st, 2020, mainly attributable to both the increase in value of held assets and the net cash deposited on the platform for the period. Now, again, a large attribution to this is this massive influx of users that we've seen from Robinhood and other platforms over the past couple days here. And we can see that with this massive growth in assets under management going from, 230 million $230 million a little over a month ago to, 800 million here today. And that number is only growing. We can see that with the net deposits increasing exponentially. And as that kind of increases, I think we could definitely see $1.5 billion to $2 billion in assets under management by the end of 2021. And obviously the CEO has said that to calculate their revenue, you take about 10% of their assets under management. And, given that, we could see, large revenue numbers. We'll go through revenue expectations for the next year here after we go through this article. Trades per day averaged more than 30,000 for the month ended January 31st, up from an average of approximately 6,500 in December of 2020. Trades per day for the period February 1st, 2021 to February 4th, 2021 averaged 60,000 trades per day. So, I mean, this is obviously kind of attributable to the, again, massive growth in users, massive growth in cash deposits. And, the main statistics here are the net cash deposits and the revenue and assets under management, obviously. But, trades per day is going to kind of go up and down based on volatility, action in cryptocurrency, and the amount of users joining Voyager. New funded accounts were 65,000 for the month of January 2021, with total funded accounts over 106,000 as of February 4th. Now, this is absolutely huge. I mean, funded accounts were at around 40,000 at the end of December of last year. Now they're sitting at over 100,000 a month later. Just huge growth, and that's again one of the big reasons as to why we've seen this massive move in stock price. Basic users on the platform were approximately 440,000 as of February 4th, up from 150,000 as of December 31st. The value of customer trades for January increased over 5x to 840 million, up from 150 million in December of 2020. The company has executed over $170 million of trades for the period February 1st through February 4th. So obviously people are trading more. Again, this is just attributable to volatility in cryptos, which we're seeing a lot of people joining the crypto market and really trading it as well, which obviously the more traders, the better for Voyager, because they obviously make money on each transaction. So they also make money on all the Bitcoin you hold, as they take a certain percentage of that interest that you earn. But again, this is just, all things are going for Voyager here. They've got a lot of tailwinds going into 2021. All figures are in US dollars, yada, yada, yada. We believe our recent business metrics reflect the growing interest in the cryptocurrency ecosystem and long-term benefits of our business model. The unprecedented external events over the past week, including decisions made by competitive products, have brought significant upside to our metrics, said Steve Ehrlich, co-founder and CEO of Voyager. While we don't expect a repeat of the unprecedented external events of the past few weeks that have served as a catalyst for this recent growth, we anticipate continued meaningful growth in our business, including from the pipeline of approximately 80,000 customers who have signed up and that we are presently onboarding. We remain focused on executing our long-term business plan and expect Voyager will continue to grow their business in a more traditional pattern throughout the balance of 2021. To support this growth, we anticipate increased expenditures in order to materially increase our employee headcount during this period, while also increasing our technology architecture stack in the near term to accommodate significantly more users. Steve Ehrlich, this is the perfect guy for this company. He's so transparent with everything that goes on with Voyager. It almost seems like Voyager is releasing new information every day. And they pretty much are. And this is just incredible transparency with the company, and the fact that he's really taken this time seriously. This guy's getting no sleep right now. Their platform went down because hundreds of thousands of users were trying to get onto the platform at once. Now they've got a wait list. You got to get on a wait list to get onto Voyager. And obviously that number's decreasing now with the wait list. The longer people stay on the wait list, the less likely they are to the less likely they are to sign up onto the platform. That is, again, one of the risks, but what can you do? They know what they're doing, and he has come out and said that their new kind of architecture and kind of technology will allow them to accommodate for around 100 million users at once. So unless Voyager goes absolutely nutso in terms of user growth and active users, we shouldn't really see that problem anymore. Now, in terms of the Voyager, we'll get into the Voyager token in a second here, but in terms of the revenue, let's do some projections. They did $8.5 million in revenue for the month of January. Now, we can expect that to be pretty, significantly higher for the remaining months. And in my opinion, we can get around $15 million in revenue averaged out over the next 11 months. I think that's very realistic for Voyager. So, given that, we can go 15 times 11, and we get revenues of, we need to put a multiplication, or addition sign here, and multiplication, and we get around 173.5 million. And honestly, we can go more conservative here. We can put like 14 million per kind of month in terms of revenue. And obviously, at 162.5 million, we can take that figure and multiply it by a price to sales of around 20, which I think it is very likely for Voyager to be trading around a 20 price to sales, given their really high margins as a software company. Their margins are, 80% plus, very profitable business model. And the fact that they're growing so significantly, I think a 20 price to sales is honestly cheap, given that companies like Cloudflare or Fastly are trading at valuations of like 40 or 50 price to sales. This is a company with extraordinary growth going forwards, a stellar balance sheet, and perfect management to execute on their long-term goals. So given that, we can expect a valuation of around $3.25 billion. Now the company's trading at 1.65. So I'm not saying we're going to see a double up here in the next year, but I'm really confident that this stock could very well trade around $23, $24, $25 per share by the end of this year. So that's why I'm not selling the stock, even though the stock price has jumped so much in the past few days here. My long projections, obviously, on this stock are $150 per share, and my bullish case is over $200 per share. I think the stock really has much more room to expand. I think it is a bit of a frothy valuation here after this giant move up. I'm waiting for a bloody red day to add to my position, but I mean, this is nuts. We'll see what ends up happening with this. So now, in terms of the Voyager token here, if you guys ask me on this has seen even more growth than the stock price, which is very hard to believe. This was trading at around 16 cents, 15 cents by the beginning of this year. And I watched this thing, go to 40 cents back in January 17th, or back in January 11th when I kind of started looking at the stock. Then it went to $1, and then now at this massive kind of inflection point where all of these Robinhood users came on, we've seen a lot of users deposit a lot of more money, which went directly into the Voyager token. Now, I think Voyager token is really going to benefit from the asset under management growth that obviously Voyager is going to see. I don't really have a price prediction for the Voyager token. I think they're both great ways to play the company, as both the stock and the token are going to benefit very well from the company continuing to expand its user base and expand its assets under management. But again, you can't really go wrong with both. I think the Voyager token might have a little more upside with kind of the same risk, but I tend to kind of lean towards equity as I find that safer and more comfortable holding my money there. But again, either are great. I like both of them, and I think some of you asked me, I think a diversification of both, is a pretty good option. Yeah. So anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I'm just trying to get my thoughts out on here. I didn't have too much time to create an actual presentation, but if you are new here, welcome. Make sure to subscribe, hit that like button, and let me know what you think of Voyager in the comments down below. Thank you so much for watching, and have a great day.